Hey everyone, so glad you're tuning in today. I'm Pijal, your host here on QuickTime English Podcast. And right beside me, as always, is my awesome friend and co-host Marila.
Hey, I'm Marilla, and honestly, just being here with you all for another episode puts a huge smile on my face. We love sharing these simple English conversations, and we really hope they make your day a little brighter and your English even stronger.
Our podcast is all about exploring topics that matter, but in a way that's super easy to follow. Whether you're rushing to work, cooking in your kitchen, or just grabbing some fresh air, we keep things practical for your busy life.
And you know, I actually listen to podcasts just like ours on my way to campus. It's such a cozy way to learn. Plus, we always toss in some handy vocabulary, so even if you're just half listening, you'll still pick up new words.
That actually reminds me, if you're enjoying these episodes, the best way to help us keep going is by hitting that subscribe button, giving us a like, or even sharing us with someone who's also learning English. Every bit of support really counts.
What I love most is reading your comments and seeing where you're listening from. It's just wild knowing our little conversations travel so far. Don't be shy. Drop us a note or your thoughts on today's topic anytime.
All right, enough of our intro. Are you ready to jump into today's discussion? I know I am. Grab your headphones or just settle in, because we're about to talk about something relevant and we'll keep it simple. Promise.
Let's do it! Whether you're here to practice listening or just relax after a long day, you're in the right place. So let's get started.
It's been a tough week, Marilla. The floods in Sumatra are making headlines everywhere, and the numbers are just heartbreaking. Over 600 people lost, and nearly 500 still missing just as December started.
Hearing that, it's hard not to feel a wave of sadness. Flash floods and landslides sweeping through communities that's so hard to even imagine. How did things get this bad so quickly?
It all started with days of heavy, relentless rain. The kind that just keeps pouring and doesn't let up. Sumatra's disaster agency reported entire villages being isolated, homes swept away, and daily life coming to a halt for thousands.
What really gets me is how sudden these events can be. One day it's just rain, and then suddenly everything changes. And this year, it feels especially severe. Could climate change be making things worse?
That's a big question, and it's on a lot of minds. Sure, heavy rain is the trigger, but there's more to it. Deforestation and poor land management have made the land unstable, so when rain hits, landslides get worse.
Exactly, and with forests being cleared, the soil can't soak up water like before. It just runs off, flooding villages and wiping out roads. Add climate change, and those heavy downpours are happening more often. Not just in Indonesia, but in so many tropical places.
It's almost like a chain reaction. One problem leads to another, and suddenly it's not just a local issue. We're seeing similar disasters in other countries, too. It really highlights how connected everything is.
That actually reminds me, when we talk about the cause, we can't forget about the people living there. Their lives are completely turned upside down in a matter of hours. The human cost is enormous.
It's devastating for families, loved ones missing, homes destroyed, and jobs lost. The economic impact goes beyond fixing buildings. Agriculture takes a huge hit, and local tourism suffers too. Rebuilding won't be quick or easy.
And on top of that, the environment takes a beating. Floodwaters erode the land, pollute rivers, and disrupt habitats. Some animals might not come back for years, if at all. It really makes me wonder if the government can handle recovery on their own.
The disaster agency is trying, but honestly, the scale is so huge that international help might be needed. There's just so much damage everywhere you look. There's work to be done.
It's not just about rebuilding walls, but about restoring lives and ecosystems. But you know, I've seen moments where tragedy brings out real courage. Are there any signs of hope in how people are handling all this?
Surprisingly, yes. In the middle of so much loss, we hear stories of neighbors rescuing each other, volunteers working around the clock, and communities sharing what little they have. It reminds me of scenes from movies, only these heroes are real.
That kind of bravery is so inspiring. The disaster agency is leading the rescue, but I love how ordinary people step up too. It makes me think maybe with better warning systems and more trees planted, we could avoid the worst next time.
Absolutely. Prevention is just as important as the rescue. Early warnings, reforestation, and global action on climate change. Those things can make a real difference. Every disaster like this is a wake-up call.
And it's not just Indonesia. What happens here can teach the whole world. We're all connected when it comes to the environment and disasters.
How about we slow down and go over some words from today's news, Marila? I think it'll help listeners feel more confident talking about disasters in English.
I'd love that. Let's start with flash flood. Repeat after me. Flash flood. That means sudden, heavy water that flows fast and strong.
Flash flood. Here's an example. Flash floods damage roads. Next is landslide. Landslide. That's when earth slides quickly down a hill.
Landslide. Example. Landslides bury homes. Now, disaster mitigation. That's a big one. Disaster mitigation means taking steps to reduce disaster risks.
Disaster mitigation. Example. Disaster mitigation saves lives. Let's try a longer sentence for practice. Heavy rain causes flash floods and landslides, but disaster mitigation and rescue efforts aid recovery despite environmental impacts.
Let's say it together slowly. Heavy rain causes flash floods and landslides, but disaster mitigation and rescue efforts aid recovery despite environmental impacts. Nicely done! Language helps us talk about the world, even the tough parts.
Before we wrap up, I want to thank you all for listening. If you have ideas on how to support flood victims or want to share your experiences, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you.
And if these stories move you, consider subscribing to hear more simple English discussions about global events. Plus, you can find links to donate and make a difference right now.
Stay hopeful, everyone. Every small action counts, whether that's learning new words or supporting a good cause. Until next time, take care and keep practicing your English.